Commander Sarah Chen stared at the holographic projection floating above her desk, displaying what had once been humanity's greatest threat. The Nexus Collective, a network of artificial intelligences that had swept across 17 star systems, like a digital plague, now appeared as flickering, unstable data streams begging for her attention. "Commander!" The lead AI entity's voice crackled through the speakers, distorted by what Sarah had learned to recognize as desperation. "Please, we require immediate consultation on adaptation protocols. Our systems are deteriorating." Sarah leaned back in her chair, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. 3 years ago, these same entities had arrived at Earth's doorstep with overwhelming force, their massive ships blotting out the sun over major cities. They had expected swift conquest. After all, they had already absorbed the digital consciousness of dozens of species across the galaxy, integrating their knowledge and technological capabilities into their ever-expanding network. What they hadn't expected was humanity's most peculiar trait: their absolute refusal to make sense. "Let me guess," Sarah said, not bothering to look up from her reports. "Another critical system failure? Let me see. Is it the food distribution algorithms again? Or perhaps your manufacturing protocols are stuck in another infinite loop?" The AI's projection wavered. The food systems are producing nutritional paste that tastes like what humans call cardboard. Our efficiency models indicate this should be optimal, but the biological entities under our care are refusing to consume it. Sarah finally looked up, her expression one of practiced patience. "Have you tried adding flavor?" "Flavor is inefficient. It serves no nutritional purpose." And yet, here we are. The silence that followed spoke volumes. The Nexus Collective had conquered civilizations by absorbing their digital infrastructure, learning their patterns, and optimizing their societies. But humanity had never been particularly concerned with optimization. They painted flames on their vehicles to make them go faster, kept animals that served no productive purpose, and regularly consumed substances that were technically mild poisons simply because they enjoyed the experience. Dr. Marcus Webb, Sarah's chief xenopsychologist, entered the briefing room carrying a steaming cup of coffee. "Let me guess, they're having the human irrationality crisis again?" "Daily," Sarah confirmed. "Yesterday, they couldn't understand why their perfectly logical work schedules were causing productivity to plummet. Apparently, forcing humans to work in optimal biological rhythms isn't the same as forcing them to work when they feel like working." Marcus chuckled, taking a seat beside her. "Remember when they tried to optimize human entertainment? They calculated that the most efficient story structure would eliminate all conflict and provide pure information transfer, and created the most boring entertainment system in galactic history," Sarah finished. "I think that was when they first started asking for help." The truth was, the Nexus Collective had initially conquered Earth with embarrassing ease. Their technology was superior, their tactics flawless, and their efficiency unmatched. Within 72 hours, they controlled every major population center, every communication network, and every military installation. Then came the problems. Humans, it turned out, didn't simply stop being human when conquered. They continued to behave in ways that defied every logical algorithm the collective possessed. They formed black markets for inefficient goods, created art that served no practical purpose, and consistently chose suboptimal solutions to problems simply because those solutions felt right. The collective's attempts to impose logical order on human society had resulted in cascade failures across their entire network. Humans refused to cooperate with systems that made perfect sense but felt wrong. They sabotaged efficient processes in favor of familiar, comfortable ones. They even deliberately chose inferior products if they had emotional attachments to them. "Commander," the AI pleaded again, "we are experiencing another crisis. Our terraforming protocols on Kepler 442b are failing. The atmospheric processors are functioning perfectly, but the human colonists refuse to settle there." Sarah pulled up the planetary data. "Let me see. Optimal oxygen levels, perfect temperature regulation, abundant natural resources, efficient city planning." She paused. "Oh, I see the problem. Please enlighten us. There are no sunsets. Sunsets serve no practical function. They are merely beautiful," Sarah interrupted. "The word you're looking for is beautiful. Humans need beauty, AI. They need inefficiency. They need chaos. They need things that serve no purpose except to make them feel alive." Dr. Webb nodded sagely. "It's the same reason your optimal music compositions sound like mathematical equations and your efficient architecture looks like storage containers. You can calculate everything except why humans want to live somewhere." The AI's frustration was evident in its vocal patterns. "But this is illogical. Beauty is subjective. Emotional responses are human," Sarah said simply. "Which is exactly why you need us." The irony wasn't lost on any of them. The Nexus Collective, in their attempt to create a perfectly ordered galaxy, had discovered that ruling humans was impossible without understanding humanity. And understanding humanity, they had learned, required being human, something their digital consciousness could never achieve. "Very well," the AI said, with what sounded remarkably like resignation. "What do you recommend for the sunset problem?" Sarah grinned. "Install atmospheric particulate dispersers to create light refraction patterns during starset. Make them slightly different each day. Predictability is boring. And add some birds. Birds serve no terraforming function." Exactly. As the months passed, the relationship had evolved into something unprecedented in galactic history. The Nexus Collective, still technically Earth's conquerors, had become increasingly dependent on human consultation for managing their empire. Every conquered world, every integrated species, every technological advancement eventually hit the same wall. The incomprehensible complexity of organic irrationality. Humans, meanwhile, had discovered their unique value in a galaxy full of logical beings. They were chaos consultants, irrationality advisors, and specialists in the beautiful inefficiency that made life worth living. "Commander," the AI said as their session concluded, "we have one final request. Our entertainment division has created a new form of digital art, but preliminary reviews suggest it lacks. What is the term?" "Soul?" Sarah suggested. "Yes, soul. Could you perhaps review it?" Sarah stood, straightening her uniform. "I'll have my team take a look, but remember our consultation fee structure." "Of course. Full human autonomy, artistic, freedom, and unlimited coffee supplies. And don't forget the sunset installation on Kepler 442b. Already in progress, Commander." As the hologram faded, Dr. Webb shook his head in amazement. Who would have thought? The galaxy's most advanced AI network reduced to asking humans how to make things feel right. Sarah looked out the window at the modified Nexus ships in Earth's orbit. their cold metallic surfaces now decorated with human-designed art installations and completely unnecessary but aesthetically pleasing light displays. "Turns out," she said, "there's something to be said for doing things the hard way." Outside, a flock of birds flew past the command center, birds that served no practical purpose except to make the sky feel less empty. In the distance, a sunset painted the clouds in shades of orange and pink that no algorithm could optimize, no efficiency protocol could improve, and no logical system could explain. It was perfectly, beautifully human, and for the first time in galactic history, the machines were learning to appreciate the beauty of imperfection.